Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Okay, just getting things ready so that we can fill our ornament. If I can grab it. Fill our ornament with glitter. Oh my goodness, I already have to do a puzzle piece. Hang on. It was a dog. That's so funny. Hello, everybody. Welcome, Cat Lee, Vintage Spider. Hello. Just getting organized here. Well, I'm organized enough. Hello, hello, everybody. We're going to fill an ornament so you guys can see how that works. And we will paint a small wood round, with some traditional Christmas colors. Gonna start with let me move this up for a little bit while we talk. There we go. So we're gonna fill an ornament with glitter so that people can see how that works. And then we're gonna work on a small wood round, doing a small design with some traditional holiday colors. Hello, Tracy. Welcome. How are you? Just waiting for a few. Hi, BT. Waiting for a few people to show up. And we will get started. Thank you for the heart, me. So we'll wait a couple minutes. Hi, Delta. How are you? Before I actually get started, I want to make sure that a few people are here before I start doing the ornament. But in the meantime, I think I will mark off our piece, our wood round for tonight. Let me get rid of that paint. So those of you that are new here, my name's Victoria. I'm going to use the word teach. I show people that are interested in learning mandala style dot art. I show how to kind of do it on the inexpensive end, just to see if you like it. We tend to paint on either 4-inch rounds. Sometimes we paint on stones. Sometimes, like this is one we just finished. We'll do this. It just kind of depends. I do let the community vote. So hi, Donna. Hello. So I will go ahead and mark the guide marks. This is just a wood round. I do use both sides if necessary, and it's painted with this particular multi-surface satin paint. I found that one works the best to get off the guide marks. Some of them don't work as well. Hello, Cece. How are you? So, you don't need a stencil, but I recommend it for new people. It is a lot easier than a compass and a ruler, and they come pre-made like this with the right amount of spokes or vertical guide marks. So I'm just going to go ahead and sharpen my pencil. Hello, everybody. Sorry about the noise. I got to sharpen my pencil quite a bit. How is everybody today? Uh-oh. I might have to, I think there's something stuck in the sharpener. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, how do we do this again? Ow. Well, hang on, everybody. I don't even know how to get that off. My goodness, how do you get that off? There it goes. Hang on. Oh yeah. All right, hang on. There is something stuck in there. Bummers. Hang on a minute. I am here. TikTok, do not kick me off. There we go. Okay, now we're back in business. Sorry about that. I don't normally need to. All right, there we go. Almost. Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping in. Just sharpening a pencil, as noisy as that is. Okay, back to what we were doing. All right, so let's do these guide marks and get started. All right. Perfect. So you can do these with a compass and a ruler, but like I said, this is so much easier for beginners, just because everything, it's pretty much ready for you. You don't have to, takes a lot of the guesswork out. And I'll show you how all of this falls into place as we start painting. And I do explain things quite a few times because I never know who's new here and who's not. So, and it is alive for beginners, so the people that are here regularly know that. But I am Victoria. I am a registered nurse, a nurse practitioner student, and I paint mandala-style.art for my mental health. It's very relaxing. Having dots of paint come together into something artistic and pleasing to the eye is quite amazing, in my opinion. That's why I do it. You may not like it, but we do. I do. So these guide marks will help us keep our design in place most of the time. I am painting about 12 inches from my face, so sometimes I get a little off. Thank you for the heart, me. Hello, hello. We teared up. Oh my goodness. I don't know what we did, but we teared up. Yay. I get all those notifications. I have no idea what we did, but we did something. Go us. Okay, so I don't remember who it was that was here last night that wanted to see the ornament painted, now that I'm thinking about it. Does anybody remember who that was? If you were that person, hi, thank you for liking the live. If you were that person, say hi in the chat. Yeah, who was it that wanted, I know somebody specifically asked. This one, I'm going to show you the brand. I can't tell you, unfortunately, where, but I have only since been able to find it directly from this. Now, I will say, thank you for the heart, me, Betty. I will say that you don't necessarily need it bound. And some of the community members have come up with a great idea because we do paint and practice in here. They bought the black paper, the 110-pound paper, and they're punching, like using a 3-ring hole punch and putting it in a binder, which is a great idea because, like, say you're working on this, you know, pattern page or whatever, and you're like, oh, what was that color palette? And you're like, now you're kind of stuck. Okay, because I have my color, because my color palettes are back here. So I think it's a fantastic idea to do that. But yes, if you go and this is the only place but again, if you can't find that, it's 110-pound paper. That's the key right there. So we will I'm going to use this messy side. All right, we'll go ahead and fill the ornament. Whoever was wanting to see it, if they're here, great. If you're new here, say hi in the chat. Okay, you can use glue. Okay, you don't have to use this, but this is what I use. This is what I have. I also use this to seal my pieces, so I'm not going and buying something specific. Some people use the gloss. You could use whatever you want. The whole thing is that this gets the glitter to adhere. Now I'm using I'm going to say this is a fine glitter. Ultra fine is really, here, let me show you what an ultra fine looks like. So this is ultra fine glitter. Like you get this, like it's super, but you can use whatever you want. The chunky just doesn't work as well. Hi Jill, how are you? You asked Wanda. Okay, perfect. They do, Jane. Just, I caution you to make sure that the weight is correct. I have looked on the Jungle, and the weight is not 110 pound. The reason the weight matters is because when you put paint on it, if it's not heavy enough, it will warp. I know that sounds silly, but they do. You are correct. And I've looked, and I've actually had one on our supply list and then had to take it off because when I did the investigative work, it was like only 80 pounds. So, yeah. The key is, it doesn't have to be this brand or anything like that, but it does have to be 110 pound or somewhere thereabout. Even this one, when I do a lot of pattern practice on the one side and I go to practice on the other side, you can kind of see it warp a little bit. So, but like I said, people use other things. The key is that you need something that the glitter will adhere to. So I'm going to put enough because you want to coat everything. And I do try to take my time. I do it in a pattern-ish so I don't miss anything. You actually need a good amount. I mean, it's not that hard. I really never know how much I need to put in there. So squirt a good squirt in there. And then, like I said, I have a really, really high-tech draining setup here. I had a box from a shipment. I punched 2 holes in it, and that's where it goes. You can do whatever you want. There's been other like ideas that people have had. So I just keep rotating it. The key is you want everything coated, because if you have a bare spot, you won't get glitter there. Now, before I paint these, I do alcohol them. Hang on, I'm just trying to get, there's a couple of spots. There, got that one. A lot of it will, okay, and then it'll go in here for a little bit, and it'll drain. I'll put it there. Alrighty, so we are going to do our color palette. I'm using this tonight, just a little palette. Normally, though, if I'm mixing a palette and I know I'm going to use it a lot, I will use, these are 15 ml pots. So if you get into this with us and you're here and you see how we mix custom palettes, you're going to want bigger ones, only because if they're too small, and trust me, you have to be very careful reading the description because they're very deceiving. But you'll want 15 because 1, it'll keep your extra paint, and 2, when you're mixing, you'll be able to mix. So tonight I'm going to use Tuscan Red. And I do put our palettes in the book in case, like this one, we really all enjoyed. So that one, and if you don't, sometimes you're going to be like, oh no, what did I actually do on that one? So I'm going to fill that up because I do want it pretty full. I don't want my my tool to hit the bottom, because then you don't get the best dots. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. As soon as that ornament drips a little bit, we will move to that. This is actually Festive Red Metallic. Another thing about using these is these will be, whatever I don't use will be wasted. So, you know, you want to mentally remember that. You know, I won't have any of this green after this. This is Forest Green. And I'm not sure if this green is going to work. It is a metallic green. Festive green. So I'm going to put that one over here. And I already forgot a paper towel, so I'm going to go grab that. I do go through a lot of paper towels. I'm sure you could use whatever you want, but paper towel usually does the trick for me. Okay, and I'm going to actually use this lush green just maybe as a contrast. Not really sure. But we're going to put that in there too. And then the vote was for silver instead of gold last night, so we're going to do that. All right, So that's what we got for a color palette. All right, and then I always, if I'm doing a big project, I might use my paint brushes, but in this case, I'm just using one of our acrylic rods. So I just take the colors, a pretty good amount, and swatch it onto the paper. Okay, and there's no real rhyme or reason, but obviously I'm putting the red together. And then I'll put the greens together. And then I don't put away the bottles until I write the names of the paint on here, which usually has to be once it dries. Oh, yeah, here. I'll hold. Leonidas. Oh, my daughter's Rottweiler's name was Leonidas. He is no longer with us anymore. It's very sad. Leo, I love it. Did you get your pic? You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, oh, very cool. And then the silver. Now, I'm going to just say, normally I would not pick silver, but there's a lot of things we don't do in this live that Victoria likes to do. This is all about you guys. Unless it's about me one day. Every once in a while, I pull my authority as the live host. But as a rule, it's all about you guys. Okay. Now, it is very pretty. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think everything's gonna be fine. Since I don't know your first name, Leonidas. We do a lot of different things in here, so it's all about you guys. Okay, so refresher, because I don't know again who is new here, and I'm gonna push this down to get a little closer. Okay, hopefully we do get a little glare here, so it's kind of like it's one or the other. I pull you down, you get a glare, and I just kind of show it from time to time. So thank you for the follow. All right, so the tools. So I go over an inexpensive, I've been a crafter my entire life. I know, like many are. So you can do this without the tools. Does it make it easier if you're painting along with somebody? Absolutely. And you may find that eventually you're going to do a lesson or something a little more in depth. I do not do that. Thank you for the heart, Joanne. But I do post the live in full for you guys to review at a later time. Thank you, Delta, for joining the fan club and the heart me. Thank you. I do love it when it dances on the thing. That's so cute. Thank you for the TikToks and the wink winks. If you want to get to that, there should be an orange box, bottom left-hand corner. You can message me there for two things. Actually, anything. I have people send me pictures there too of what they're painting during the live. But But thank you for the repost too, Joanne. If you want the beginner supply list, or if you want access to the live replays, they're in full, no edits, so you can fast forward. But it may ask you for your email address. I don't need that. Just put your message in there, what you want from me. Okay? Be nice, but you know what I mean. So you can use a Q-tip, a toothpick, anything that's going to make a dot of paint. Okay? You can use the tip of a pencil, the eraser. Okay? The tools do make it easier. We have found, though, even though the tools may look just like this, same colors, everything, they may not be the same the dotting tip. Kind of a bummer. Mine are set up that these on this side are all about the same size. On this side, they go from tiny to bigger. We use these the most. Okay? In addition to that, we do use acrylic rods. Okay? So you'll hear me say, because some people do paint using those lives, I'm using the small end of the pink or whatever, so that they know which end I'm using in the live. Very good, very good. Well, welcome. Welcome. All right. Anybody have any questions? All right. Anybody have any questions? Hang on a minute. I probably should. This is a chalk minute. I probably should. This is a chalk. Pen right now, so I'm trying to disconnect it. All right. Let's go, Kita. That's funny. All right, any of my OGs out there painting tonight? This is the pink. So with the most mandalas, dot art, we start with a large center dot. I don't even know what design or what to start with, so I'm just going to use this metallic green because I think it's kind of pretty. When you do any large dots, you need enough paint. And when I say enough paint, like you need to, for like the ornaments, did I send you the, what do you mean no? Oh, okay, cool. For this, you can't find these? They're not on my supply list? Oh my gosh, everything keeps falling off of there. Thank you for the follow, Mimi. Oh boy. All right. So we got quite a few. Hang on a minute. We're gonna mute a few people here. Okay. So, hello. No, not thin like that. This is a regular pencil. No, yeah, that you got there. You know, you're probably not in the right place. That's the name. Okay, so then you're looking for this. This should be on my supply list, Joanne. But it's fine. It's not extra fine. That's I mean, this works. It's just I wanted you guys to know that it's kind of I wish it was smaller. But yeah, this should be yeah. I would say if you can find the extra fine. If you can't, then I mean that'll work. All right. So now I just start. In this case, I will start with the small end of the yellow. Yeah, I got that on the jungle. I didn't look again. I didn't look again after I realized what happened. All right, so I'm trying to make sure I'm in the picture and so is the paint because this is not my normally I paint, like I said, in the pots. So I want people to be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so this is the small end of the yellow tool. And I'm just going to go around. The goal here is that, and I know it's dark. I mean, that's kind of what happens. The goal is that you keep your dots the same. You don't touch the dot before or the center dot because obviously the center dot's still wet. And you just go around in a circle. This part of a mandala can be hard because you're going to one time have more paint, one time have less paint. So it's better to have less because you can always tap it again to get more paint out. Another thing about the paper is you can practice this on the paper. Like a space, like a saucer, like a UFO. Yeah. With the little dome on there. And I can show you what I mean. So, you know how I trace the lines on here? You can trace those same lines in or on that paper. And practice on the paper. So you don't have to have the wood rounds. Now these are 4-inch. All right, so there's a little bit of a glare. I'm going to pause and fill in those two spots like that. You got to pause in the middle because sometimes, or before you do the last two, because sometimes you'll think you can get more dots in there. Yes, this is a wood round. I don't have any blank ones. I did order them. They should be coming. But they look like this. So there'll be wood on that side. But you can paint both sides. I do with the same stuff. It's same stuff. Let's see where we're at with this. All right, we're going to do one more row of dots, and then we'll look at the ornament and do the glitter. Okay, I think I'm going to do this other green before I switch to red or anything. And I'm just going to switch to the large end of the yellow. And I don't really do anything fancy here. I just going for bigger dots. Same concept, keeping them the same size. Going around in a circle. Keeping them placed about the same distance apart. If when you're going around and you're using a bigger tool and you notice your dots getting bigger, wipe off your tool and start all over again. It is. Hi, Sharifa. Yes, what I'm using here is this brand, but what I recommend is that whatever craft paint, acrylic craft paint you have available to you is what you should practice with. Because you're going to want to stick with the same brand of paint so you learn the consistency. And once you learn the consistency, you know, you might stick with that brand. But this brand we tend to use the most because it is the most consistent from color to color. There are a few colors that they have that dry translucent, which is kind of weird, but and if you're new to this, the white lines can be distracting. But I promise you, once we get part of this design down, the lines become way less obvious. All right, remember, I'm going to pause, okay? Because you might think, oh, I can get 3 in there. No, well, I can't. You might be able to. So we're going to go for 2. Okay? Now, when I do a dot of paint, normally every dot of paint goes in there unless we're doing walking dots. Oh, chili. Oh, thank you for the euro. Hi, Angie. Following you with this is a win-win. I will pray. Yeah, so sometimes we have someone that visits and she translates. Her name is, well, I don't know what her actual name is. Does anybody know what BG's name is? I probably should know it, but I don't. Thank you for the chili and the rose and the you're awesome. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm going to lift this up so you guys can see it without the glare. Sometimes our lighting is perfect, and then other times it's not. Is it Tracy? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's her name. So, and again, I always have to preface my painting by I am like at least 12 inches away from it. I'm also painting at a weird angle and I have an astigmatism. So when I'm painting, I do not aim for perfection. What I'm aiming for is that when you're watching, you're getting what you need from me and we have a good time. There is no, we always say everything is fine. Everything is fine. Mistakes are fine. So, okay. Let's do something. Let's see if this is going to be the right size. I'm going to do every other, but I might have to go to the blue. So let me, ooh, that's too big. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's do the red. I'll know right away if it's not going to work. So I'm going in between the last dots. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for the follow. Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Simply Me. How are you? I have such a hard time remembering like everybody's legit name because there's so many of you that going, so that's not going to work. So I'm just going to keep going in a circle. My dots are a little wonky. So if you do it right, sometimes you can do a row where they actually fit in between. But my dots on that last row are a little wonky, so I'm just going to go around. Makes it less stressful. Now, like I said, if you have any questions, please ask them in the chat. I am normally live every Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern until 10:30. It just kind of depends on what we're doing, where we're at in a project and stuff like that. I will not be live tomorrow, though. I do home infusions, and I have a patient tomorrow night. And I won't be here Thursday because we have I call him the boyfriend, but his mom is visiting. She'll be here Thursday, so... And then I take a couple of days off. And this week is actually busy for me. I have my final. So I'm in a nurse practitioner program. So obviously my final is important. All right. So for this part, I'm going to do a dot and a dot because I can always add. It's really hard to take away. There. Thank you for liking the live, guys. You guys are tapping away. Thank you. Okay. So that's the center started. And then we'll get into the design. Okay. Ooh, I just had an idea. Which is something I've not ever done. What if we did this? The little mirrors. Never done that. On the little ones. Okay, I'm going to put this aside for now so it can dry a little bit. And then we'll do our ornament. Okay. And then I should probably move my paint because I make a mess. Legit mess. Hang on. So move that. And I need a piece of paper for the glitter. Extra glitter. Yeah, it's kind of cool when I thought about that the other night. Like, some of you guys have been with me this whole semester. That's crazy. Because I feel like I started this live, before this, the semester may have just started, but I was like, oh, I need to paint. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Susan. Mama's off the rockers. Thank you for the follow. All right. This is an iridescent. I've never used it. Don't know, but we're going to pour it in. So, depending on the size of your glitter, you may just be able to pour it in there. The fine, though, I would really recommend. I don't know why it didn't want to come out. depending on your skills with the glitter. Okay. We're just going to go with that. And then you just make sure you get it coated. I did add some glitter to the supply list that actually comes in bags, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then after I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, how do you get it back in the bag when you have extra? Because you always have extra glitter. No point in wasting it, right? Well, this looks like snow, like a snowball. So yeah, you just kind of, you know, rotate it around. And then I'm not really worried about, there's like a little area there because, you know, the little cap goes over it. But that's pretty much it. And like I said, before I paint this, I will absolutely wipe it off with alcohol so that I get all the lotion and oils and dirt or, you know, I mean, it's been in a warehouse. And then, I don't know. I'm going to see if this will pour in here. You get to watch me live make a mess, which I do frequently, so wouldn't be the first time. Okay. And then like I said, if you have the fine, it'll coat it even more, but I like that look. I like the look that it's kind of like a snowball. But like I said, I've not ever used that glitter on these, so I have no idea what it was going to look like. Any questions on that? That's pretty basic. Pretty basic stuff. I think the bigger thing is finding the markers and stuff if you're going to paint on them, if you want to draw guide marks, because we have the stencil that is very helpful. It's a silicone stencil. Okay. Her name is, oh yeah. So you're welcome. You're welcome. If you have any, if you have any questions, hi MJ, always ask me, Wanda. You could, well, that one I could have, but no, I was thinking more of the, I could do that, but it's got a little spout on it, but I could use the funnel. Thank you for the follow, Susan. You can use the same color for the ornament if you like. Same color. Unscrew the lid. That would have been too easy. Wanda, you've been here with me long enough to know that I do not do things the easy way here. Thank you for the heart me and the TikToks. Yeah, you've been here long enough. But these stencils came from this company. Okay. These are also, instead of the acrylic rods, these are their, for people that have visual issues, highly recommend. But what we were talking about before is, so the stencil, okay, for the ornament, okay, it goes, here, I'll show you. It goes, it's flexible. So it's not stiff like the other one. But these markers, thank you for the follow that. Oh, we could. Yes. Yes. The problem is, and I'm just going to show you, or try to, this is a medium tip, or is it the fine? It's the fine. I can do it, but it's weird how, how you usually want to go up and down? If you go up and down, you kind of get caught on the lip. So I was saying that if you could find the ultra fine, it would be a lot easier. You could just hopefully just draw. I'm only showing you guys basically. So then you get, it's not perfect. So then you get your guide marks for painting. So, I mean, if you can get the fine, I mean, it works. You just need to know that it's kind of a pain in the patukas in a way. Okay. Let's go back to painting. Carefully bring my paint back. All right. So, yeah, I'm wondering, let me look at, so we do, I just wonder what that would look like. I'm going to try it, guys. I know, oh, thank you. I hope you smile. But yeah, I mean, it does, having the tools does really help. Especially then you're not like stumbling over yourself and trying to figure something out. I wish I could get you guys like, a deal, but all right, I'm going to actually try this. So we use these mirrors in mandalas, and I'll show you one too. I just want to get an idea. Yeah, I think that'll work. So this is one of the designs where I've done it on a larger, this is a 6-inch piece. So it just gives these little starburst effect. Now in this one, I'm not going to be able to do every guide mark. I'm going to do every other. And I don't know what kind of effect we'll get because I've never done it. But we do that here, right? We do different things. We experiment, so you don't have to. So it'll take me a second to trace these. I'm not that fast with them. Nothing about this process is supposed to be fast. It's meant to be therapeutic and relaxing. The goal is that, the visual effect, you're doing your dots, you're calming your mind. It is, I'm going to use meditative as a word, but it's very calming. Thank you for the follow. Crying at the checkout. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, we're not in a rush. That's why I set aside 2 hours, because I want to paint for 2 hours. If we paint longer, we paint longer. But usually, I mean, sometimes we are longer. So where is everybody at? Like, where are you tuning in from? I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania. I'm going to school in the Wilkes University, which is, I don't know, they consider themselves Northeast PA, but they're not really, because I'm in Northeast PA. I'm almost in New York. So we had quite a bit of rain yesterday. Oh, I think this might be pretty. I learned after. Very good. Wow. Yeah, and yeah, your fine motor. Oh, yes, Washington. I'm so sorry. Yes. That's a great did somebody recommend that to you, or did you just find it and you're like, I'm going to try that and see if that helps? That's a great idea. All right. Now what? I feel like this one's up a little high. So yeah, we'll have to do small. I don't know how far we're going to be able to get. It's not going to work as well as I'd liked unless I do a brush stroke. I'll try and do a swoosh. So what we need to do is we need to kind of get out here, and then I can do the walking dots. Let me see if I can show you. Might be easier for me to show you. And I don't know that I want to do that swoosh with silver. Let's use the metallic red. Who knows? I don't even know. Okay, so this is going to be a big swoosh, so you need a lot of paint. And I'm using the large end of the green. Oh, very good. Oh, cool. Very cool. All right, so a swoosh. Oh. You know who hasn't been here is Joe. I haven't seen Joe in a while. That metallic red is kind of thick. It's different. All right. So big dot, and I'm going to slowly push this around. If you go fast, your paint is not going to have enough time to come off your tool. You got to go slow. Yeah, I can't remember how I found Demi. Oh, YouTube. That's how. Yeah, where I was staying, we didn't have TV. So, well, we had the TV, but we didn't have like cable. You know, I was a travel nurse, so we had to use streaming. Yeah, and it just came up, and I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. So it's a big swoosh, guys. So those of you that are watching and watching the replay, good luck. Thank you, Blondie, for the follow. So yeah, I was just scrolling or whatever, and she is not on this platform. So I followed her there, took quite a few classes from her, and I just love her. This paint is very thick. You need a if you get this metallic red, know that it's, unless mine is old. I mean, I just bought it, but I feel like sometimes, the paint could be old from where you get it. Because it's really, I gotta really load up my, you do? Oh, you did? Okay. I have them in my cart. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. But I can tell you that one thing, if you don't like them, I know she'll want to know about it. You know what I mean? Like, she is that kind of person. She'll want to make it right. Which, I have her brushes, and I know they're perfect. So normally somebody who has been painting a while would do something that large with a paintbrush. But because we're beginners, we are learning how to do massive swooshes. Believe it or not, these are actually, they're not easy. They take some patience, practice. Like, you don't want to push hard. You don't want to push hard because you'll put a big divot in the wood, especially these. These are cheaper. And you got to go slow so you can push that paint around. So, see, this one isn't quite as big. So I'm just going to take care of that from right now. There we go. Slowly. And then the slower you go, and you can always take and turn your tool over and fix that edge if you need to. Hi, Mason. How are you? Yeah. She, like I said, you know what, Delta? No, and you don't. I mean, I've had some of my paints for several years, and they're perfectly fine. I've used many metallics. I don't know why that red is, it's just super thick. We're trying something different tonight, Mason. I'm actually going to do the mirrors on here. I've never done it on a 4-inch round, so doing something different. Because I couldn't do our normal start with the walking dots because I need room up here, and I wasn't going to be able to do that. So I'm modifying, as always. Modifications, as always. And that's the other thing I try to impress upon you guys is when you do check out the lives and you're painting along, yours should never come out exactly like mine. I mean, you can try and like do the design, but you're going to have your own painting style. Oh. Oh. Oh, Mason. Well, Mason, I have my final, I was telling them that some of you have been with me since I started the semester. And if it hadn't been for you guys, I don't really know what I would be doing, because this has become something I look forward to every day now. And when I'm not painting with you guys, I am like, I wonder what everybody's doing. That one's a little wonky. You got to be careful going over swooshes too much, though, because you'll get that crease. You don't want that. So live and learn. So like if you get this festive red, the metallic, and it's like this, don't do big swooshes with it. Because like it is seriously thick. There we go. I really had to scoop up some paint. So we'll try that. We'll do one and then we'll add some more, because you really need enough to get around there. Now I'm not trying to do like an exact outline of the diamond. I'm just really kind of doing that lotus petal kind of shape. Thank you guys for tapping it out, liking the live. Thank you, Mason, for dropping that in the chat. I have been pretty busy this week. Like I said, I have that final. I have patients all week. They asked me to pick up a patient today. Nice couple, but it was like an hour and 40 minutes away. Really nice people, but it was so far. You know, when you drive an hour and 40 minutes and then you do, 4-hour infusion, like you're gone the whole day. Okay, we got somewhere. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do walking dots. Okay, and as odd as this sounds, I think I'm actually going to do red. I wanted them pretty big, though. I want to see what the red looks like next to them. So I want these pretty big. So sometimes to get all the way around, you do actually have to do 2 bigger dots at the top. And I have that tendency to hold my tool on the side. Okay. So you want to try and hold your tool like that. Not on the side. There are tools that are designed for people like me that like to put their tool on the side. What happens when you do that is you don't get the flow of paint off your tool. And that is really wonky. Tap, tap, tap. So the guide marks are here so you don't do what I did. So see where the guide marks are on this. Your goal is that your dots end up on both sides like this. Okay, they should line up. Okay. Okay. You know what I just thought of? Well, it's dumb. You won't see the white chalk marks on the white ornament. Oh, and I like the white. Okay. So we're going to we'll have to add some area where we can do some top dots because we need to get some color in here. Like I said, just doing it so that more of the larger dots are, lined up. When I walk them, I don't count them. But I do like it like towards the top where it's more like noticeable. I do like to have them lined up a little better than that first one was. So one thing you can do, and you can't do it until these dry, is you can actually do a brush stroke or a swoosh up here with a contrasting color. So that's one thing you can do. Let's see if I have anything like that out here. No. It's all on my bigger pieces. And I put all that stuff away since we're having company. I swear my living room looked like an arts and crafts store for a little bit there. Am I keeping you up? So now when you want to do ornaments, I do recommend, practicing some smaller patterns so that you can get them symmetrical on your pieces. It actually is harder to do smaller pieces than it is to do bigger pieces, in my opinion. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, ask them in the chat. This is a live for beginners, so everything I'm doing is actually a beginner pattern or technique. There are some people that have been here and are a little more advanced now, but this is a live for beginners. All of the live is available after the live for you to practice with and learn more or rewind and fast forward and any of that stuff. I guess I could have really used the green tool, but I wasn't sure if that would be the right size or not. And then a walking dot is simply that. You just walk your tool around until you run out of paint. And like I said, it is better if you hold your tool straight up and down, Victoria. There we go. Okay. So we need some green. I'm going to do metallic green here. So I like that metallic green. That's too big. Hang on. All right, this is the large end of the white tool. So I'm going to come in here. Now remember, I've never done this pattern before, never used these colors before. This is truly alive where you see what happens. There's no, what's that word? Rehearsing. Truly live. Now remember when we started and I was saying like it might be hard if you're new to like look past where, you know, all the white chalk marks are for the end result. So now we're starting to cover them up a little bit. This one. There we go. That metallic red is almost pink. I'm definitely going to go over that with some green. Maybe I'll even just do walking dots. So I don't want to touch anything. All right, I'm going to drink water. How's everybody doing out there? Everybody good? What should we do Wednesday? I want to see if I can see this marker. Oh, okay, I can. You guys can't, but I can. Wonder what else we could use. Maybe I'll freehand it. Maybe I'll do it like I do our love stones. So those of you that are new, this is actually what we started painting. I call them love stones. They're loosely shaped like hearts. They're rocks that I pick up in the creek beds. But I could do that. Maybe I'll start that tonight. And maybe just find center. And as long as I have center, I don't know. But what does everybody want to do on... Here, I'm going to hold this up too. I guess it doesn't look as pink up here, but it does have that shift. I'm a little hesitant. Go with purple on the ornament. Purple. Oh. Well, let's see. I don't have a purple palette. I was just trying to use up what we had. Little hesitant of using the silver because of the mirrors. So, you know, the mirrors are going to go in here. So that will be the silver. So I don't think I'm going to put any silver on there now that we've discussed that. And not sure what's going to happen with that. What if I do a swoosh, a green, Okay. Got a lot of mms going on here. Trying to think. Swoosh. It's a little different. All right, I'm going to do the green, the original green, the forest green. I'm switching back and forth from you and Mar. That's fine. That's okay. My brain is thinking. You're good. So I'm going to do some walking dots here to about there. But I could probably switch the tool and get in there. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do and then have to switch and finish coming down. Yeah, I don't love that metallic at all. It's not red. It's pink. I don't really have a lot of room in here, so we're just going to make this act like it worked. And that's what I mean, like when you're painting, try different things. Don't be afraid to be like, oh, let me try that pattern. It doesn't fit there, so now what do I do? Just, nobody's going to know but you. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something. I really just, it's, to me, it's pink. I mean, it's not fully dry yet. I mean, it will be next to the mirrors, so maybe it won't be, and I'll be able to put a mirror on there just to see kind of what it looks like. But I don't know, just it's not the color I thought it was going to be. So I do encourage you guys to think outside the box and try doing different things. Not everything is going to work out exactly the way you want, kind of like my snowflake turned into a flower, But it is what it is. And I'm just going to squeeze. Oh, no, I guess I need paint. Squeeze. Too big. Too big. But I'd never put the mirrors on here, and I think that they're going to be really pretty because of the silvery, Christmassy, like snowflakey thing. I think they're really going to be pretty on there. We just have to kind of trust the process. And I'm never done. Like even when we go off live, when it's dry the next day, then I'm like, oh, I know what we could do. So then I do it. Do you? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've never used it. No matter what the answer is, that's exactly what I wanted. There you go, Carol. That's what I meant to do. I use this. The key is that it is this gel control. You do not want the liquid, you want the gel, and you need very, very little. Very little. I meant to do that, exactly. So I may end up actually having to come in here and top dot this green too. It's kind of interesting how, like, you know, a color looks one way and then you put it on black and it's like, oh, well, now it's gone. Like it's non-existent. Yeah. And I always say it's fine. Everything is fine. And, you know, and again, I always say everything is relatively inexpensive. But like I'm a broke student right now. So like I have all this stuff. And if I was going to go and like, if I had $20 and, maybe, but I want to put the mirrors down because I'm not like they're bright. So let me find an area, one that's like this one is pretty dry here. But you know, the mirror is pretty, I mean, it's pretty shiny. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get it off of there. But if I had $20 and that's all I had, I would get a set of tools, paper, because then I don't have to buy this. If I had the paper, I wouldn't have to buy this, okay, because it's black already. I would buy a couple of my favorite colors of paint and white or beige or something to mix it with to make ombre, like an ombre palette. And a stencil of some sort to give me some sort of guide marks. But I mean, the paper would probably be the most expensive. Lick your finger. Oh my God. I'm afraid. Oh, there we go. I'll remember that one. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, so I actually feel like swoosh it. I really love the green metallic. I don't know, it doesn't really scream Christmas so much, but I really do like it. So I'm thinking of tying, it would tie that in if I do swooshes here with it. So this is the large end of the white. And that might be too big, but we're going to see. Hang on, I got to do that. It needs more paint. There we go. So this is where a Lazy Susan comes in handy. Which I'm going to get. And this is just like a silicone bath mat, or pot holder or something like that for like hot pots. Let's see, can you blend the green with the silver? Oh, maybe. And like it would be like, I don't know. Never tried that. Trivet. Yes. Thank you, Wanda, for helping me find my words. Maybe silver on the green. Yeah, look, you see. Oh. Yeah. The only thing is you got to be careful doing stuff when it's wet, because you'll be like, oh yeah, and then you touch it, and once it's wet, you can really mess it up. So some things you have to kind of wait until things are dry to go over it. Some of this stuff is actually drying, so I may try something. Yeah, I really do love this metallic. This one is pretty. Cece, how you doing out there? How's your painting come along? I do want to put this here, because there we go. There we go. It's giving. Or is it going? I got to give you credit for working on something different than what we're doing live and still being here live, because that would kind of throw me off. Hi, Carol. How are you? Welcome, everybody. If you're new here, you can say hi in the chat. Tell us where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions, ask them. We are kind of there was really no goal for tonight other than like working with some Christmas holiday colors. Trying a couple of, obviously the red metallic did not quite go as expected or planned. I thought it would be a little more vibrant. I do love the metallic green though. I think that really pushed the design out there. So I think what I will do is very, very, very carefully, because we're putting the mirror there, I think it may look cool if I do put silver metallic right around the red metallic. And maybe, see, these are too wet. I can't really do anything there. I don't know what it'll look like. Hang on a minute. Let me look at something real quick. So if I put the silver on the red, that's how bright it'll be. I think that might be pretty cool. Yeah, like when I'm trying to do a swoosh, it's not like doing it on the wood at all. It's I mean, I can see why people like to do the ornaments, but yeah, you don't really have to, like, your swoosh just swooshes. Yeah. All right, we're going to go for it. Let me find, I feel like so I just have to be very, like, you can't push. So I'm going to, I wonder if I should swoosh or dots. Oh, I don't know. Let me swoosh. Swoosh or dots? Dots. We got dots. Okay. Well, I tried to swoosh. I want to see. Okay. Carefully. Well, I live on the edge, don't I, guys? Living on the edge here, man. We're going dots. All right. So we're going to walk some dots down the red. You guys like the dots? Because that's what you're getting. So here I'm gonna now it's not so pink, but it does have that shift though. I don't really love that shift. Normally I like the shift on a metallic, but I don't like it to go to pink. That is not what I expected. So normally I would do something like this like tomorrow, but I think it's dry enough. I mean, I was able to wipe off a swoosh, so. Am I still in frame? Sometimes I get out of frame. Sorry, guys. I know those words are... There's a way to get rid of them, but I don't even know how to do that. Somebody said you tap or swipe or you do something. Now I think it looks more like a snowflake, Christmassy. I agree. Silver was a good pick. Dots were a good pick. See, that's why I have you guys. You guys help me finish. I would sit here staring at this going, what do I do now? You like it? I like it. All right. Oh, one more. Yeah, you got to be careful because I feel it like I hear it like sticking. So I'm trying to just barely touch. Let's see. Everybody likes it. That's a neat idea and would be pretty excellent. What did I miss? Dots. You could end the swoosh with dots. You could, Cece, yeah. I think I read that comment before. Okay. So I'm kind of at a little bit of a loss because I feel like I wanted to do some micro dots here. Let me hold this up. All right, I think I'm actually going to top dot the red, these with silver. What about walking dots in between? That's a spot I'm not 100% sure. I may just want to leave it negative space. I feel like this is what I'm seeing. Okay, so we have all the silver here, but we need to actually put some somewhere here. So I was thinking of top dotting these. Now that I have these, I don't love these. So something has to happen here. And I'm not sure, I don't want to just leave that as a negative space. You know, sometimes like less is more, and it's hard for me right now to visualize because I have the chalk mark there. I think once it's erased and the mirrors are on, I will know more, but now I don't love this. Like I thought doing this would tie that in with that, and maybe I just need to leave it alone until I can erase the guide marks. Because I feel like I feel like this pattern gives it like a snowflakey pattern, like this, but it's not connected. So I think that's where my eyes are going. So I almost wonder, but like I said, it gives it that snowflakey pattern, which is kind of what I was going for. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% sure. But I do think I need to top dot, if not the red, one of the greens. So maybe if I top dotted, because I like the red. Let me see what you guys are saying. Or do a triangle dots on the bottom. Put dots there with the same color, silver. Put dots there with the same. So like the green. Micro silver with the dark green. These tiny ones. Yeah, because we can't really see them. So this is the small end of the pink tool. It's going to just make it look silver, which is fine. Because, you know, we need to kind of get some silver in there to balance this out. We'll see. Like I said, I'm using the small. So that's a good example of like the flow difference between this metallic and that red metallic. Like this is the expectation. Like the metallic is usually like it flows pretty good. Was Tasha here tonight? Yeah. Where's Tasha? Tasha, are you painting? I didn't mean to yell on the phone. I feel like she was here earlier. All right. So that is that. So that, like I said, that just brings out that a little bit more in the center there. Has the silver. Okay. Yeah, I think once I erase these guide marks, because right now this looks like the swoosh is there and it's got lines. And then, of course, this is all going to be covered with a mirror. So that part, that's not the part I'm having. It's right in here. But there's green dots here. I love that about mandalas. When you spin them, they really, really are pretty. Okay. So should I, I'm going to set this aside. Because that's what you do sometimes when you keep wanting to touch something. You set it aside. Okay? And I am going to, you guys can stick around if you want. I am going to try and do guide marks on this ornament that we just did because I think it's so pretty. But actually I need this one. So I like the second one to use it as a gripper. Okay. You're going to have to give me just 1 second. Okay, I got to find center. And then once I find center, I can come back. Come back. Come back. Okay. So this is pretty much centered here. So what I was saying is you got to kind of go in with the marker instead of like, normally you'd want to go like that. It gets hung up on that other edge. I don't know if that makes sense, or why it's doing that, but like I said, it's just a tad too wide. Now, that other stencil is stiff, so you're not gonna be able to use that on these ornaments. You need something that's gonna, flexible. Now, Cece found, I'm going to say those must be like acrylic blanks. And how did you find those to paint on, Cece? Smooth, huh? So I don't know if you guys can see, I'm kind of curving the stencil around. It's different than painting on wood. There, that you just slide. No, and the notebook. What did you do for your base coat? That was what I was going to ask you. Hello, how are you? Hello. Because like I told you, I spray painted mine. Okay. So that is a little difficult there. Oh, you did? Huh. And you got a smooth coat. Did you use a sponge? I would imagine. Okay. I gotta turn it. Because you got a really smooth coat on there. We're just fiddling around. We have some extra time, so I'm just trying to show you how this works. But again, it's going to take some, there's a learning curve. This is only, the third time I've done this? I am not a... Oh. This is the fine tip. I would recommend... if you can find the ultra fine. Well, you got a really good coat. You did good. Okay, I feel like I need to double check over here. There, okay. So there are other stencils that are actually curved, so you wouldn't have to do what I'm doing, like holding it down and all of that. So I can see them. Can you? Oh, sure. Hang on. Let me put this down. Sorry, I guess, here, let me hold it up. There's a little bit of a glare. I couldn't see them in your pic. You're welcome. I could not see them, so that's why I was saying you got a smooth finish on there. What color? What color? What color? What color? I mean, you know, I love this color palette. I mean, I don't have that colored tree, but I still like this color palette. I don't want to do it in this. I don't really love those colors. See, I'm weird. I like this color palette, which I don't even know what red that is, to be honest. Maybe it was this red, true red. I mean, I like the Tuscan red. It's just different. So I'm going to use this color palette. I don't know. It's one of the ones that we put together. Not a lot of variation in the colors, though. I think so. Plus, I have it. So, as with everything, I like a nice, juicy center dot. Now, the chalk marks do wipe off very easy. Okay. Did that? Hang on, I gotta turn it. Can't tell. Yeah. So I gotta fix that. Just, hang on, I gotta hold it a second. Sorry, guys. All right, there we go. And then sometimes you can spread that out. There we go. That's better. What's going on? I have the ornament holder that gives me the center. Yeah. Which one do you have? I'm having a hard time like justifying all of spending more money. Pink? Where am I adding pink? So Wanda, oh, you have, which one do you have though? I feel like I remember you might have said something about that the other day. I'm actually going to use the small end of the white. They're all teal. Every single one is teal. Oh, you mean like, like add in like accents of that? Maybe. I will say though, painting on these is very, very different. There's no absorption. Like your wood tends to give you like a little bit of absorption. So whatever your dot does is what your dot does. And like I said, the chalk wipes off easy. So you can almost have to like find a way to not touch it. Pink with teal would be pretty, yep. I'm going for it. Nobody will know. So same thing, you're going to go around. And like I said, you might just have to figure out how to steady your hand. Like I'll put my pinky on it in between the guide marks. That tends to help. Am I on there? No, I'm not. Sorry, guys. It's really hard. It's really hard to paint a foot away from your face. All right, and then 2. There we go. Barely. Barely. Those did not go on very good. That's okay. I'll fix it. It's fine. It's fine. So, yes, normally this is how I start every single one. The row of dots around a big dot and just kind of build from there. It's how I was taught. Does that mean you have to do it that way? Absolutely not. Like I said, I encourage you to, like, I love it when people share their artwork with me because you guys, some of you just do things like, and it's like, how did you even think to do that? Like, I'm pretty much a creature of habit. Like, I like what I like. I know what colors I like. And I feel like that's how we paint the best is when we tune into, our particular form. And you guys will find that too. I mean, as you know, obviously I like teals. Like, that's, if you watch any of my, look at any of my stuff on my profile, normally the shirt color I have is teal. Like, I have a lot of the same color shirts. It's kind of funny. I'm like, did I wear this yesterday? Yeah, okay. Well, I do a lot of holding my breath here because again, sometimes it's hard for me to see. Like just then, see, I ended up, they're touching, but it's fine. And then, see, that's not going to work. Not going to work. Well, it's going to have to. Just don't bleed together. So see what happened as I went around and around and around, they got bigger. Remember, I always say, if you notice your dots getting bigger, what do? You stop, you wipe your tool off. It's fine. Nobody's going to notice. There's so much glitter going on. Nobody is going to notice. It's a pretty color, right? Nobody's going to notice that there's 2 dots so small in there. Oh, my word. All right, I'm going to go up one more size. We're going to do the large end of the blue. So as we get ready to close up, does anybody have any questions? I mean, I'm really just probably going to do this outer row and call it a night, because I'm kind of tired and it's a long week. And you never know exactly what I'm going to do. I might work on this, I might not. Nobody really put in a vote for Wednesday, so do we want to just finish this or do something different? Or your options are a 6-inch round, a 4-inch round, a rock, or an ornament. You have options now. Lots of options. The other thing, when you are painting on these curved surfaces, as you start coming around, you might have to slow down, because the paint may not run, but it may elongate. So I kind of tilt it up instead of down, if that makes sense. I mean, these outer areas, they dry pretty quick, but I kind of tilt it up as I'm going around to prevent any running down this way. Ornament, Carol says ornament. A different ornament or this ornament? I got plenty of ornaments. All right, and then 2 more. This one? Okay. We can do that. We were already slightly committed. Oh my goodness. Chloe, I know it's that time. It's funny, she knows, like, when we're getting ready to get off. She starts to make those funny noises and carry on. Yep. So I'll have to unearth that palette, because that's not the one. Is this the one, Cece, you're working with? No, right? This has got to be another one. This is an older one. I'll have to look. But yeah, so we will not be here tomorrow. But like I said, we'll be here Wednesday. Hang on a minute. That's kind of tilting. There we go. That's better. And we can finish working on this. And whatever. Oh, I'm kind of flexible this week because, I mean, it's only a couple of nights and we're really, you know what I mean, don't really have a lot going. Ah, okay. Yeah, that one is, that color palette, this one, I showed it to my patient's wife today. She's like, and you paint? And I said, yes, it's for my sanity. And I showed her this one. She goes, oh my God. So I was like, yeah, it's probably one of my favorite color palettes that I just, I pulled together. But yeah, that is a pretty color palette. So anyways, if you guys have any questions between now and Wednesday, you can message me or, message me. I try to be pretty responsive. The only days that I can't really respond is on Fridays. Oh, excuse me. They don't have cell service. Wi-Fi there, so. But anyways, yeah, if you have any questions between now and then, don't hesitate to message me. And yeah, thank you all for being here, and I appreciate you. And we'll work on an ornament next time. All right, I'll see you, Cece. Have a good day. Does anybody have any questions before I sign off? I hate hanging up when there's so many of you here. Coming in hot was here. That's funny. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and I will see you all Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern.